I'm Daniel.
And I'm Dudley.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Deaf and Dumb.
Welcome to... What?
Welcome to the show.
Why
We're going to do the show.
What are you doing?
Let's do the show.
What are you doing?
Woo! Show. It's showtime. Let's do the show.
Uh-huh.
You ready to do show, Dudley? Let's show.
I am.
I drank some caffeine.
Or do you not do that?
Not lately, actually.
Yeah.
I have not been on a lot of caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
I've been mostly drinking water, so I'm a little
jittery now?
A little jittery.
Yeah. Well, that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how's your week going?
It's going fine. I want to start with something.
Okay. Well, I have something that's not really game related.
Yeah. What? Well, mine is our show related. You want to start with that?
No.
No. And then go to whatever you're.
I want to talk about how I got a speeding ticket.
Okay.
Well,
how to turn off our audience. I got a speeding ticket.
I did get a speeding ticket.
Or relate to the audience.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah,
you're trying to connect with our listeners?
I got a speeding ticket.
By going super fast.
I was going too fast.
Super fast.
Not super fast.
In a very fast area, you were going extra fast.
No, not it was actually a slow area, and I was going an average speed.
Over?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't get a speeding ticket for going under.
You can.
Nobody ever does that.
There is a minimum speed limit in some places.
Some places,
yeah.
But I mean, how often do they give a...
I don't know. I don't know. I don't stop and ask every time someone pulled over his side. Are you giving him a ticket for going too slow? I don't do that, Dad.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So that happened.
Yeah.
And I'm annoyed at small towns not having websites where you can pay fines.
Get with the times.
Get with the times.
Get with the times.
I mean, come on. I'm willing to pay the fine. I will admit I was at fault.
Mm-hmm.
Just make it easy for me to give you my money.
So how much over the speed limit were you going?
11 miles.
11 miles. That's ticket worthy.
I was doing a 56 and a 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of our listeners who aren't in Texas, the one of you, Texas is notorious, or at least East Texas.
I think this is true of everywhere.
I don't know. I haven't driven elsewhere enough to know.
You have.
I've experienced it more in my road tripping travels in Texas than anywhere else.
That's true.
That is speed traps.
Speed traps, yeah.
Which is...
Everyone knows what a speed trap is.
Everyone should know
what do you do?
I'm educating.
You're over-explaining
You're the one
something.
who started this conversation.
I'm done. I'm over it.
Well, you started it, so I'm going to continue.
So what were you talking about with the show?
Okay, the show. So I noticed something. I guess it was Friday or Thursday.
Thursday?
It was either Thursday or Friday.
Was it Odin's Day?
Odin's no. It wasn't Odin's Day.
Okay, it was definitely Thursday.
It was Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
And I don't even remember why. I was just like, I was looking at our show on the iTunes app.
Yeah.
Because I had noticed, you scroll through your list, it says how many episodes are on there. And we're on episode 102.
Yeah. This is
so it should say 102. Actually, it should say 106 because we have 4 specials.
Some specials and bonus episodes. Yeah.
Non-numbered episodes.
Yeah.
But there are 106.
Non-numerical number episodes.
So it should say 106.
Yeah.
Well, it said 95.
95?
And I was or 94.
94.
I was like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why does it say only 94?
Why does it only say 94?
Because the first 5 episodes of our show dropped off.
What?
They weren't there.
Why?
And as far as I can tell, they've been gone for 5 weeks.
What?
Or the first episode has been gone for 5 weeks.
And then everyone incrementally less?
Incrementally less. So every week we were losing an episode.
Is it only like a 100-episode thing?
Well, apparently our hosting service, unbeknownst to me, had a limit on the number of episodes in the feed. So, for the technical jargon, there's a feed of all our episodes. And
like chicken feed?
Sure. No, shut up. It sends out our information for a show from our hosting service to all iTunes.
Yeah, all the streaming places.
All the streaming places.
Yeah.
And it dropped us off at it cut us off at 100. So I was like, oh. I went to the settings and I switched it to unlimited. No limit.
No limit.
No limit.
We don't want to limit how much people can listen to us.
Well, or which episodes they can listen to.
Yeah. So, though, when you told me about this, I did get to thinking about it. I said, how many people are going back and listening to our first episode? And do I want them doing that? And I went and started the first episode just to listen to it.
Yeah, which has been almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. Not good. Not great.
I've not listened to it.
I listened to about
even when it came out. I didn't
3 minutes of it, and I was like, "Nope, I'm done." It started off as hilarious. It's really bad because it starts off. We hadn't quite figured out.
Why should we even describe it? Just go back and listen.
No,
to it.
don't.
It's available.
Don't, but I will talk to you about it. It starts off. We hadn't quite figured out how our format is. We were still
didn't
uncertain
decide
of
that
how
you were going to scream at our listeners every episode.
Well, I hadn't got the. There's no energy.
Yeah.
That's really the big part of it. I was listening to it, going, we are like.
We
so
don't know
awkward.
what we're doing.
We're so awkward, and we're like reserved, and we're like, oh yes, hello, and we do a synchronized hello, which I think we dropped pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, that was gonna happen
because I don't know what happened there, and then I don't even know why. I don't remember us planning that, but
I think we did.
It seemed like something silly we might have considered, but it was dumb, and so it was like hello, and we're both just like hello, and then we start talking, and I'm like. Wow, this is so boring.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. Yeah, and so it was like it was low energy, and I don't know, maybe it picks up, but it didn't. It wasn't a strong start.
I haven't gone back and listened to any of our shows. I don't listen to it at all.
Yeah.
So. As we sit here and do it, this is all I hear of it. So now it's you were like, no one goes back, no one listens to the first episode. I'm like, actually, it's our most downloaded episode.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense. People start from the beginning.
Starts with the first episode.
But let's be honest. There's not a lot of continuity here.
No,
I mean, I think you learn a little bit about the people we talk about more and ourselves by listening to them.
Some of our weird little inside jokes that are not very good.
Yeah, and, but I don't know.
I think at this point, if you're starting to listen to the show, just start here.
Yeah. Start now.
Or the next one.
Start here.
Yeah, whatever the newest one.
Maybe I'll name this episode. Start with this one.
Start with this one. If you have a specific game you want to hear us talk about, you can go search for that episode. But beyond that, there's really no reason to listen to our show in order.
Yeah. It sounds like we're telling them not to listen to our show.
I mean, I want you to go download them all.
We want you to
download every episode. Don't have to listen to them. Just download them. So it ticks a number on our little board to say, hey, someone might have listened to this. That's irrelevant. We just need you to download it.
Yeah.
It looks good for us. It looks good for you. Maybe. I don't really care if it looks good for you. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's nice. So yeah, now all our episodes, all 106 of them, are available.
They are.
Well, and it will be 106 when this episode goes up. So, yeah. You're not listening anymore.
No, I was distracted because my laptop was giving me a message that my hard drive is almost full.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
Yeah, but it'll be fine. We'll get through the episode.
I hope so, because this is where you're
I was checking. That's where I was checking. I was checking, and we're like, how much room do I have? We're fine. We'll be fine.
Okay. All right, cool.
I will need to clear off stuff before next week, but
yes. So let's talk about games. That's what the show's about, right?
Right. That's what we sometimes talk about.
Yes.
We played something new this week.
Yes. I forgot what it's called. I didn't even put it on my list.
Our buddy John Dorsey.
Maximum Apocalypse?
Maximum Apocalypse. It's a game he kickstarted, and that's about it. That's all I know.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah, we played it, and it's a co-op apocalypse survival game.
To put it simply, which just is not doing it justice, but to put it simply, it is Left 4 Dead, the tabletop game.
That's fairly accurate.
It's co-op. You're working together to survive.
It's not just zombies.
It's not just zombies. It's to survive an apocalypse.
Some kind of scenario.
In a broad stroke,
scenario.
I've explained this game.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it's accurate.
Yeah.
It's all right. We only played this tutorial mission, which didn't feel that difficult. I felt like I could. There were a few parts where it felt like it could amp up.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel that hard. But again, it's the tutorial mission, and I imagine the other ones are bigger and more complicated. And, it's not bad. I
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I liked the character I was playing, but I think we were playing it slightly wrong too, because I was playing the veteran and his dog.
Mm-hmm.
See, everyone has a character, and each character has abilities, a special ability tied to him. Well, I played an old grizzled veteran and his constant companion, which is a dog, and then I have we each have a deck of cards of actions that go with our characters. Well, I have 2 sets of health. And apparently, the part we were doing wrong is I think they're supposed to each have their own hunger dice, and I was not used. I was only had a shared hunger, and I should have each should have had their own, and so that would change things a little bit. It wouldn't have affected the game.
Not too much. Being the tutorial, it wasn't a big deal.
But it wouldn't have affected that much, but a little bit. I imagine in a bigger game it would have been more of an issue. But and basically, but it's funny because I say it's funny if the dog dies. The veteran goes kind of crazy.
He goes all John Wick.
Yeah, he starts getting. Well, yeah, it's more like he gets upset and starts doing damage. He could potentially hurt my allies and stuff.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, like a lot of my cards said if the dog is dead, you can use this card and it does. It's like I throw a grenade and it does deal damage to my allies and the zombies.
To everyone.
Yeah,
you don't care anymore.
I don't care anymore. It's like him. The card is literally him weeping and pulling the pin on a grenade. But yeah, it's interesting. So, it was an interesting.
To explain the game, there's a bunch of tiles on the table.
Yeah.
We all have little figures or little standees that represent us, and then we have a deck of cards that we shuffle up, and that is our hand of actions that we can do.
Yeah.
You draw them, so it's kind of like it's not a deck builder because you don't build the deck. It's just you have the cards.
Yeah.
You get more cards that you just draw, but they just go in your hand.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is you use the cards in front of you and you equip your guy and you have to achieve some goal.
Yeah.
So the tutorial one we did, we just had to get gasoline, and we had to get 4 of them and get to the van to escape, which was across the map.
Yeah.
And we had to explore and gather resources also to survive, because you have to not starve.
Yeah.
And you also have to get the resources to fight off monsters and then get to the end.
It has a really interesting mechanic because it's not like a lot of those games where you have pieces on the board and then you have like monster pieces that move around and there's some kind of mechanic to how they move. The monsters, the thing that's different than most games, the monsters are tied to your characters. The monsters are chasing you specifically, and there's stuff that'll move monsters from one person to another.
Yeah.
Or if you can kill the monsters that are on other characters, but. Yeah, so you go around in order, but then you
deal with your stuff.
Yeah, stuff happens, and you draw a monster, and you have this monster attached to you, basically, that you have to fight off, which was interesting. So you don't really keep track of where monsters are; it's just who they're after.
Yeah,
which is really
they're
clever.
laid out in front of your character.
Yeah.
So you deal with those generally, but you can also shoot other people that are within range, and there's an interesting range system.
Yeah,
and then I played the gunslinger.
Yeah.
And which I played John Dorsey had the a exclusive card a variant of the gunslinger with a redhead redheaded woman, and so I played her and I kicked ass.
Yeah, you were awesome.
Just every round I was just like, who's got monsters?
Yeah. Well, and also Josh, Gary's brother, was just constantly loading you up with ammo.
He just kept giving me. I don't think I ever had to reload the gun myself.
Yeah, he just kept giving you stuff that
he would just
load you up.
You're low, here, reload.
Yeah,
and I was like, all right.
And it's cool. It's this cool little co-op. I felt like I didn't really do a lot. I did a little bit toward the end. My only complaint was I was like, I'm just kind of moseying on. I didn't really feel like I was that.
You're a cannon fodder.
I didn't feel like I was that engaged in the game too much. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because it was just a tutorial mission.
Yeah.
I want to try it again. I want to do a full mission and kind of get a feel for it and get better feel for it. But it's cool because the board's all just tiles, like random location tiles that you place down, and you have a little scenario card, and it shows you how to lay out the board, and then it shows you what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then, theoretically, they can just put out more cards, and you have all the pieces to keep making it. And then there's, like, zombies and robots, and I can't remember there's like
there was a bunch of them.
Like a more Fallout style type thing, and there's a lot of different ones. They told me a whole bunch of them. I didn't get to see all the pieces, but it's a cool little game.
It is fun. It was fun. It was fun where we could all kind of sit around, talk, and play and stuff. And it was casual. Yeah. I'd like to play it again. Maybe do one of the other scenarios and see if it's harder. Yeah. I assume it's supposed to be hard. In fact, one of the rules things, like, if you have a conflicting of rules, you go with whichever is harder.
Yeah.
Like, whichever makes it harder on the player, that's the one you go with. And I'm like, which is kind of opposite of what most rules do. It's like, whichever is more easiest or convenient. Or
a lot of times it's like whichever they default to the card or follow the card is the exception.
This one's just like, whichever's hardest.
Yeah.
That's the one you go with.
It's an interesting little game. I'm still kind of on the fence about how I feel about it. And
I think yours is more like wasn't even sure what your character was supposed to be doing.
A lot of mine is like, I think the shuffle didn't work in my favor.
Yeah.
I went through, after we finished, I went through all the cards I had in my deck. Because I didn't even look at them. I just shuffled them and then went.
Yeah, same here.
And because I was kind of surprised by it. And then when I looked through it, I'm like, all the stuff that was really cool that kind of defined how that character plays was kind of at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I kept drawing the cards that I could only play after the dog had died.
Yeah.
And he has this cool mechanic where I can deal damage to myself to basically keep the dog from getting hurt. And thus make the dog immune to a bunch of damage and throw stuff at the dog to keep him from getting hurt, which is kind of cool little mechanic. Use the dog to attack stuff, but use the veteran to basically keep the dog from getting hurt because the dog has less health.
Yeah.
And also I go crazy when he gets killed.
Yeah.
So, and I managed it really well.
Yeah.
I didn't end up not taking that much damage on them, and I ended up, doing okay.
Yeah.
But
I ended the game with no damage and like, I was just like, no hunger, no damage.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, because I just kept managing, and I would heal, or I would get stuff, and I would just, like, it didn't get hurt that much, so I would just kill everything.
Yeah.
It's like every time it came around to me, I was just like, all right, how many things can I kill in one round?
Yeah.
And I would kill, like, 3 or 4 of the monster zombies at this case.
Yeah.
And so I felt very... like, this is what this guy does.
Yeah.
And I think Josh did a good job. He was a support
yeah.
character, and so everyone kind of had their little role, and it worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
It's cool. I'm always kind of on the fence about certain games like that. Like I remember forever ago we played like, a game that our buddy Seth had that was like some kind of zombie co-op survival game, and I didn't really care for it.
Zombicide.
Yeah, I didn't really care for it. It came with all these minifigures, and
it was
all this stuff.
It was a little too complicated.
I didn't really
care. It had a lot of scenarios.
Yeah.
It was just, this is like a simplified version of that I think is better.
Yeah, because it's modular and that way it's, I don't know. I was a little on the fence because I played similar games, not just Zombicide, but other things that were like, it's okay. They end up being kind of interesting. It depends what it is. Like, and I also worry about the replayability of some of it.
Zombie themed stuff is kind of cliche now.
Well,
it's like everything has a zombie.
Yeah, but it's popular. I don't really. It's okay. I don't really care.
It's like every video game now has a zombie mode where you're fighting zombies.
Yeah.
and it's just it doesn't make any sense.
But it was. I liked it, and I see the replayability, and apparently also if you go through all the missions, and there's a bunch of them, I think, and you want to play again, it has ways to replay them and make them more difficult. And like kind of get so it has a lot of replayability.
Yeah,
which
I think
is cool.
so. I think, and then I could see it being interesting if you played it to where. Like, you have a group of 6 people or whatever, and then you all pick a character, and that's the character you play, and you just keep one scenario after the other, and just see how far you can go, and you keep, like, any harm, like, any damage you took the last game, you keep that, and you just keep rolling it into the next one, and just keep going and see how far you can make it, how many scenarios you can get
survival,
to. Yeah, like
how far you can go.
Just see how far.
You're gonna have
it's gonna get hard, especially late stuff. If you have a bad round or two, you're gonna.
I could see that working.
I see it being pretty fun.
But yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'd like to give it another go.
Yeah.
We played some Star Wars Destiny.
Yes. Gary was kind and gave me a bunch of cards.
Yeah, he gave you a bunch of his duplicates.
He had a stack of like dupes. I like saying dupes. Has a stack of dupes. It was like big old. I don't know.
I don't have a bunch of them. He's got 100, but he bought a bunch of cases and he's got tons. Of
I would say I wouldn't be doubt there was 100 cards there.
Yeah.
And I just took them and I didn't even look at the villain because I only have heroes right now. So I just took all the heroes and I just went through them all and took. He's like, you can have any of those. I was like, okay. So I just took
all his like common and rare cards.
Yeah.
And, like the ones that are like really easy to get. And, and he has like
Well, some of them he had
copies of them.
6 of them just in that stack.
Yeah, and
that's
like, and he has 2 of everything and put away for himself. So
so I ended up with like 5 or 6 times more cards than I already had in my starter set. So I had a little more flexibility to build some more decks.
He had given me a picking of it back when we first were buying them, and then I went through it again just to kind of see if there was something he had gotten some more I'd missed, and there was a handful of cards I actually, most of them I had, or I needed a second copy or whatever, and I ended up getting a few more things. But he and that's the thing. It's nice because between you and me and John's getting really into it. He's bought.
John
3
is
cases.
gone nuts.
No, 4 cases.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's gone nuts with it. And then so we're gonna have lots of extra cards to kind of even each other out, which is nice. We'll benefit from it.
Yeah.
I was staring at buying a case all week, and I'm still considering.
I really want. I'm probably going to. Whenever I maybe my next paycheck. I don't know. Sometime soon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what my money's like, and I might buy a case. And because I keep looking at, because I'm very limited on what I can do.
Yeah. That you were kind of where I was when I first started. It was like Gary had tons of cards and I had a fair amount, but I was kind of limited on what I could make, and so you kind of just this is the deck I can make.
Yeah, well, it's like I can make like 3 or 4 combinations, and that's it of characters.
Yeah.
Which Gary's help, I got a couple more characters.
Yeah.
So I got some Qui-Gon Jinns. I got 2 of those, and then he also gave me Rebel Troopers, which are smaller units, or non-unique characters.
Yeah.
So I made a new deck to play against you, and it was Luke Skywalker and 2 of the Rebel Troopers. So I played against your bullshit.
Yeah, I threw together. I was like, well, at first I was gonna take my starter kit and build a deck, but then I was like looking through. I was like, I want to make, I really wanted to make a one deck, but then with Phasma, but I don't own a dice for Phasma, so I have I have the alternate card, but I don't have a dice for it.
How do you do that? What do you do about that?
It comes in the this 2-player starter kit. That's where you get those dice. So if I go buy the 2-player starter kit, I'll have that. It's just an alternate card. It's a different, it's a different print of the card.
The picture's different.
Yeah, the picture's different, basically. That's the only thing it did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have her and the Poe Dameron. I have the 2. And they were, like, exclusive, handed out for, like, stores to give out during promotionals or
for the 2-player
for like tournaments or something like that. And since I bought a bunch of booster packs, one of the shops gave me one.
Yeah, but it's basically useless.
It's not useless. I just have to get the card. I have to actually buy the card to get the dice to use them.
Yeah, until then, it's useless.
Yeah, well, so I can't really play her because I don't have the dice. But so I was looking through stuff and I was like, well, I have these cards. I think I'm going to make, just for fun, I wasn't really trying to think it through or anything. I just kind of threw it together to try to, and I asked you how many dice you had, and I kind of stuck to that limit.
You did one more than I did.
I didn't mean to. I miscounted somehow.
I'll just do one that's the same number of dice. Yeah. You had, how many you have? I have 9. Okay. Which is the minute max I could do with the cards I had. And then you were like, oh, I accidentally did 10.
Yeah, I swear it was 9, and then when I went to
I did 10
lay it out
by
on the table, I was like, I somehow ended up with 10 dice. But not counting the character dice, which I had a lot of characters because it is, as I call it, the Trooper Tusken Raider deck. T3T deck. Because I had 3 stormtroopers.
Okay, I didn't have a problem with. It's this other bullshit you had with you threw on top of that.
I don't know. What are you talking about?
What was it? An AT-AT?
ATST.
ATST.
Which I didn't realize was a legendary.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, this is a legendary. Whoops. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have any legendaries.
It didn't occur to me that it was a legendary. It didn't occur. I really didn't look at it. I just thought, oh, I'll use this, and I threw it in there. I didn't realize how expensive it was. And my biggest
you're like, oh, my stuff is so expensive, it won't matter.
A lot of my stuff was expensive.
And then you still had tons of money, and you had no problem buying anything.
It was alarming. I was a little. That was my biggest worry was going in. I was like, I'm not sure I can generate money to pay for that. Because on top of having 4 non-unique characters, I also had 2 endless ranks in the deck, which basically lets you pay 4 or 5 credits. I can't remember how much, and you can bring back a dead non-unique character, and which I did, and you were not happy about it.
Yeah, because I killed one of your troopers.
Yeah, well, you killed the Tusken Raider first.
Yeah,
and then you killed a trooper, and I was like,
so I was doing really good.
You had killed half my guys,
half of your team, and you hadn't killed any of mine yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was doing good.
Yeah,
and then you brought one back, and I was like, well, that's bullshit.
I know.
And so...
but yeah, I was worried that I wasn't going to have enough money generation to kind of pay for, like, the ATST, which is one of the most expensive cards. He's 6 credits, and that's expensive. And he does a shit ton of damage.
And you had 6 credits when you drew the card, so I don't think you were that
I actually
hurting.
Didn't draw it that turn. I had it, and then had been building up money. But, so...
Well, obviously it wasn't that hard.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Actually, it played much better. It was still a fairly close game.
Yeah. Well, the problem was that with that ATST... I had 2 support characters. I had BB-8 and I had R2-D2. If I put them out, you blew them up.
Yeah.
Because there's a 1 in 6 chance you're going to blow up my support character.
I think he had actually 2 specials. It was 2, so it was actually 1 in 3.
1 in 3. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, 1 in 3 chance of blowing up a support.
Yeah,
that's what
and
they do.
so.
And it did a bunch of damage.
Yeah, it did 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it did a bunch of damage.
Yeah,
it did so much damage. And
you could cut Luke in half within, like, you would almost kill him in 2 hits. So.
Well, luckily you had a lot of shield that would cause
but you kept playing cards to go around them.
I also had, I forget what it's called. I forget what it's called, but there's a yellow card that lets you just treat damage as if it was unblockable, and that was super useful. And that deck actually ran fairly well. I thought it was cranking. It took me a little bit to get going, but once it warmed up, it was doing pretty good. So I was gonna just tear it down and maybe tweak it a little bit or build another deck, but now I'm like, I'm gonna give this one another run and figure out its weakness.
Well, I had a problem because the deck I had was with the Luke and the 2 troopers really. I put in 2 of the heroism cards. Yeah. Which basically lets a unique character kind of sacrifice himself in a way and take the damage instead of someone else. Yeah. Doesn't really I didn't need that.
No, it kind of goes against how that deck was made.
Because the deck is basically like, I have Luke, and then I have 2 rebels that are basically cannon fodder until to draw fire until so Luke can do all this stuff. And so I had 2 extra cards, which I drew really early, and I couldn't do anything with, and I had to get rid of them. And then there were several little things where like, this card doesn't really help me, and so I need to switch some cards out, and it would be a little bit better. So I'll probably update it and try it again maybe this week. But I'm not playing your deck again. That's that bullshit. You take the ATSC out, and I might play it.
Well, if it hadn't been I hadn't been playing the ATST, I had also 2 TIE Fighter bombardments in there that I would have played, and those just their special is they destroy all characters' shields. They just get rid of them.
Yeah, which wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah,
because I was constantly I had lots of shield generation stuff, and I almost had 2 characters completely shielded. So that wouldn't have been. I would have preferred that as opposed to doing 5 damage to me.
I think the thing that gave me a little bit of a leg up on that game.
Your legendary.
Well, no, not that. I didn't get that till a little later. But I think one of the things that gave me a leg up at the beginning of the game is I drew a squad tactic right off the bat.
Yeah, which lets you.
Yeah, basically, there's a card called Squad Tactics that lets you
activate.
It's a free. I don't think it costs anything, or it may cost 1 credit.
It's like 1 credit.
1 credit.
I think.
You play it down, and then you can activate all your non-unique character, which I had 4 non-unique characters. So I can basically, I drew it from the beginning, and so I just went right out the gate. I activated all my guys.
Yeah, I had that card too, and I had 2 of them in my deck. They came up when my unique characters were dead. Both of them did. So my non-unique characters were dead. So they were useless.
Sometimes the draw goes against you, Dudley. Sometimes you roll the dice and you roll a bunch of blanks.
But I had a lot of great stuff, a lot of great equipment for Luke. He had a cool lightsaber and robes and all kinds of good stuff. And I was dealing damage to you eventually, but
I'm gonna go ahead and say you can talk about it and act like, oh, my deck was bullshit, but you don't know bullshit decks until you play Gary and some of his, I have Gary. I'm just tossing holdout blasters everywhere all day, and doing 3 ambushes every time I activate. Bullshit.
What do you mean? You only he just make ambush decks.
I know he is like crazy about ambush. Gary in almost a lot of games. If there's any game you play with Gary, and if there's a way to generate multiple actions when you normally only get like 1 or a limited amount of actions, if there's a way to generate extra action, he's gonna do it. Yeah, that's how he's gonna play because he's a fucker.
I haven't played Gary in it. I've only played you, but I can't complain about Gary because he's been very good to me, giving me lots of cards.
Yeah,
he increased my number of cards.
Yeah,
and now I need more.
Yeah.
I need more, and I've been so tempted to go try to find some boosters somewhere. Thankfully, I don't think anywhere in NAC sells them.
Not right now. I heard there's one place that's supposedly trying to get some, but I haven't heard any.
As far as I know, nowhere. I even looked at Walmart when I was there.
Yeah,
they
don't.
Just curious,
they don't carry it.
They don't carry it.
No.
So that's the only reason I haven't bought anything is because of that. But I am eyeballing a box.
Yeah,
a big box.
A big 36 booster case.
Yeah, if I can get a reasonable price.
John bought. He's got one of each case that's out coming. Well, and one of them, the Awakening one, came out. He got first, which he got a really good price. He got off eBay for like $70.
Just under $7.
Yeah, just under 70, and so it's a good price. And he originally said, I'll sell y'all some boosters for the discounted price. I'm like, oh, awesome, cool. There's still some in that deck. Not enough that I want to go buy a case of them, but there's still a few things in there that I would use. I could use an extra one of, or there are some, like I need a second Vader, and I need some other. There's lots of little things I could use out of that.
Yeah.
And that night, last Tuesday, he had it there.
Yeah.
I kept looking. I was like, I think I may have to buy some of those off you. What do you think about telling me 10 of them? I'll pay you for next time I see you. And he's like, yeah, okay. And then Gary had to talk to him about box distribution.
Yeah.
And about
what it is, he was talking about early in the run with the cases. The Awakening boxes, all the legendaries were on top.
Yeah.
So depending on how you open the box, he may not get any legendaries.
And then he got to talking about how, what if you open them, and what if Dan opens one of the legendary you want, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, shut up, Gary. John changed his mind.
No, what I said was, if it was my case, I'd open them all.
And then Gary wouldn't shut up, and then you wouldn't shut up, and then he decided he wasn't going to sell any, he was going to open them all himself, and he drew another Sith Holocron, which I needed. He drew a fucking Vader, which I really needed another Vader. He drew a Luke Skywalker, which I'm not playing
Leia. Didn't he get a Leia?
Yeah, Leia. I have another. He drew 2 Leias, actually.
See, here's this whole conversation right here is all about you.
Oh, no. And the one that I think upset Gary more than anything was because Gary bought 3 cases for the Awakening set and never saw one of these and wanted one real bad. It's a thermal detonator.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hate you so much right now. In all fairness, it was his case. And I wasn't really mad. I did. There's always gonna be stuff you see that you want.
Well, yeah,
but
here's the thing: John doesn't have hardly any of that. So, right? I mean, he doesn't have most of those cards. So
he had some of them. He's been buying boosters.
Yeah, but he didn't have a Vader.
He bought half a case worth of boosters already.
Yeah, but he didn't have Vader.
No,
he didn't have like a lot of the legendaries. He didn't have. So
actually, no, I think he had a Vader already.
Really?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
Well, either way, he was on the same standings as you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I felt no envy when he opened them. I was like, good for you.
Yeah. You can get better prices on the Awakening boxes.
Yeah.
And I am tempted to get it. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like,
maybe we go half-Z on
maybe we go
Awakening
half-Z.
We'll open all of them and then,
split hero villain.
Yeah.
Well, figure out how to handle the. Here's the way I think.
The legendaries is where we get issues.
Well, no. Here's what I think. We get the box, and we basically out of the box we say we will. I will get all the villains. You will get all the heroes, and then we will split them in half, dump them all out, mix them up.
Open them.
Each get 18 each, and we each open them, and we basically hold on to any neutrals we get, and we keep them aside. But any neutral we get, we will kind of swap. If we'll hold on to them, we'll start
trade.
with that'll be our base, and then we'll swap them out based on.
And then eventually split them.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, more than likely, I have most of them already.
Yeah.
So more than likely, they'll just get funneled to you.
It'll probably most of the good stuff. Where the issue will rise is where the legendaries.
Yeah,
I mean, because I'd like you want the villains, but eventually I'm gonna want the villains too. And if I open a Vader, it's gonna be very hard to let it go.
Yeah, I know. I drew a Han Solo once.
Yeah.
I let it go.
Yeah.
I gave
But you got a Vader.
I did get a Vader
which at the time was the most valuable card.
Yeah, it was stupid expensive at the time I traded.
Yeah.
It was actually, and it still is, it was actually a little weighted toward in my favor. But I traded Han and something else and a couple other little things to Gary for a Vader.
Which Gary already had 2 Vaders, didn't he?
I don't know what he's got.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe.
I just assume he already had
I assume he does, but I'm not actually 100% sure. I think so. Yeah, I think he does. He does have
everything.
He does have a double Vader. So he had an extra one, and and he could have sold. He was like, man, I can sell this and recoup the cost of one case basically at that time.
Yeah, I would have been tempted to do that too.
Yeah, and I was just like, dude, I need that Vader. And I was like, I have a Han Solo right here for you. And he didn't have one, so. We worked out a deal.
I'll give you a Solo for your Vader.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. I was like, he's like, well, I mean, and at that time it was like there was a $15, $20 difference in price online, and now they're not worth that at all.
No,
but I mean, there's still like a $7 price difference between the two.
Well, yeah, I mean, Vader's like $20 or something like
you can get a Vader for $20.
Yeah, nowhere near the $80.
Yeah, it was like it was at its peak, I think, close to $80.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm tempted just because the Awakening box is
we may go half-seeds on Awakening box if we can get a good deal.
I think you can get them for $80.
You can get them cheaper. The Awakening I've seen cheaper.
If I can get it off Amazon for $80, I don't want to deal with eBay. I don't have an eBay account anymore.
I do.
I don't want to mess with that.
That's fine. It's fine. I'll deal with it. We'll reap the benefit. But you can get them fairly reasonable, like 60 something. I think I saw them around 70.
Yeah.
I saw one for 50, but it was a bidding one, so it may not.
I mean, I guess we could just do it like buy a case and just split them open, and whatever we get, we open.
Yeah.
And then not worry about.
And then we can trade, obviously. Make deal. But I really want the Spirit of Rebellion set.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters in there that are really cool.
There are some cool characters.
I really want. So that's the case I'm eyeballing. Is that one?
The main thing I want out of there is Palpatine.
Palpatine's
Palpatine's in there. He's ridiculous.
He's just ridiculous.
He is crazy.
But I'm going to keep him if I get him. That'll be the start of my villainy.
Yeah, that's the one I've been eyeing to buy.
Yeah.
If I buy a case just for myself, I would probably get a Spirit of Rebellion. And then I really don't have that many of it, and I have more of it than the other ones, but I don't have hardly any from
Legendary.
Legends.
Legends, yeah.
And then the one before that is Empire at War.
Empire at War.
And I don't have that many. I have a few. I have a handful. But
yeah. See, I looked at all of them. And the most interesting was Awakening. It's got a lot of cool characters, but I figure I'll be getting a lot of that from.
It's not Legend, Legacy.
Legacy.
Isn't that what it's called?
I thought it was it's
Legacy, not
whatever.
Legend. I said Legend. But
anyway,
we never get anything right.
I said Legendary.
We were talking about
Extreme
Legend, Java last week,
which is right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I really want more cards.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying not to look at them because I don't have the money to spend on it yet. But maybe when I get paid, maybe we'll pick them.
Maybe next week we'll have a reason to celebrate and we'll buy one.
Maybe. There's potential news on the way.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Okay. I've been playing Bloodborne. And I found out something about Bloodborne.
What about Bloodborne?
That I did not know.
Tell me about Bloodborne.
Ham has been texting me because he's been playing it.
Ham's been texting you about Bloodborne.
In the Bloodborne, you can do co-op with each other.
Yeah.
With a password and all this stuff. But
really?
But you have to be within 10 levels of each other and all this stuff. So I've been trying to grind to get to. He had a character. His lower level character was 55, and I was at 35. So I had to get 10 levels up to be able to play with him. And so I've been working on that. But there are these chalices you get in the game. As you go so far and beat some bosses, you get a chalice, which I didn't know what it did.
Or you drink from them, Dudley.
Well, in game, I'm talking
about. You
about.
fill them up with liquid and you drink from them.
Why were you making a gesture like you were peeing in the chalice? You made a peeing gesture.
No, I didn't.
You did it.
I was leaning.
The chalice is low.
Leaning on the desk and I was
peeing in it, filling it up, and then I'm drinking from it.
No.
Well, do you drink your own pee then?
No, I do not. But I'm sure some people do it.
Well, we're not talking about other people. We're talking about you.
If that's what you want to do, a chalice might be the thing for you.
A pea chalice. But no. Okay. I didn't know what they did. Because, I didn't make it that far the last time I played the game, and so I'm still finding new stuff. Well, I found out, finally, you put the chalice on this spot, and I didn't notice.
What?
So in the game...
You say the spot?
A spot.
A spot.
A spot.
You take it and you put it on the spot.
Well, it is the spot. There are multiple spots, but there is a spot for this chalice.
Okay, so what happens when you put the chalice on the spot?
I thought, because there are little, gravestones that you use. There's the dream, you go into it. And anyway.
I know the Vegas.
That's like the hub of the game.
Yeah.
And there are gravestones.
Like the Firelink Shrine in Dark Souls.
And you use the gravestones to go to teleport to other places in the game. Well, I thought there were the line of them. I thought they were more of the, other locations. Yeah. Not realizing they were for chalice dungeons.
Okay.
So you put the chalice on there, and you're taking it into a little dungeon. Underground, and you go and they're monsters, and it's got different sections. You have to fight bosses. In fact, you were watching me today. That's what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
There are some of them that are procedurally generated.
Oh.
So they're not the same every time.
That's cool.
So that's kind of cool.
That is really
cool.
Which
is
that's
interesting because I had talked about a while ago.
Yeah, you talked about, I want this game.
I want a game like Dark Souls that has procedurally generated levels.
And you just had one.
And I
had it. You've owned it.
I've had one for 2 years and didn't even know about it. Or a portion of one.
Yeah.
Bloodborne has it.
Bloodborne.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so structure to it, but it always changes, and the bosses change.
At some point, I need to play Bloodborne.
And I was like, that's pretty awesome.
I played like an hour at the beginning of it, and I liked it, but it's a little different. It's hard.
Oh, it's hard. I texted Ham, and I was like, Bloodborne's so hard. And he was like, yeah, Dark Souls is like training so you can play Bloodborne. And because it's some of those, there's some beast
in there. In some ways, Dark Souls hinders your understanding of because Bloodborne, it kind of looks like Dark Souls. It kind of plays a lot similar. A lot of the setup is similar to Dark Souls, but the combat mechanics is different,
slightly different.
And so, if you're going with the way you play Dark Souls, it doesn't play that way. Yeah. And I think that hurt me a lot. I think if I had just jumped into Bloodborne having never played the Dark Souls game, I think I would have been it would have been hard anyway because those games are hard, but I would have been on a clean slate without any assumptions of what I was going into. But
what's interesting in Bloodborne is the creatures you encounter. Some of them are so different that it's like their fighting style is so different. They make them really hard. There's a couple of them I have hell with, and I've lost so many echoes, which is the Souls equivalent in this game. So many from one type, just because and I finally got decent at fighting them. It took me. I just was like, screw this. I had no more echoes. So I was just fighting them over and over and dying constantly. I'm just gonna train until I can beat this thing. And I finally got. Pretty much.
You just train right
and there was one right outside of
a thing over and
a
over
spawn spot, so I would just die, spawn right back right there, fight him again. Spawn, die, spawn, die. I died 10 times in a row, and I finally got decent at fighting him. It's a good game.
Yeah, at some point I'll play it, but I don't own the proper system, and I did play it on yours a little bit, but maybe if Rockstar makes me buy a PlayStation, so I can play Red Dead, I'll either play your copy or buy my own copy or something. But
I have one other thing I want to talk about before we get into news.
Well, I still have a game I haven't even talked about.
Oh, well, we'll talk about your game. Go ahead.
Okay. I bought Tiny Metal today.
Tiny Metal.
Which
you were talking about
a couple of weeks ago. I was excited to advance.
So you restrained yourself a little bit.
I did to an extent. And then I was today I was home and I was like, I need something new.
I have money.
I need something new. I looked at Tiny Metal. Well, I heard the eShop had a sale going on, so I was like, maybe Tiny Metal's on sale. It wasn't. But then I was like, well, it's $25.
Didn't stop you from
I
buying
looked at my monies and I was like, well, I'll buy it. And I bought it. And I was a little apprehensive. It felt like too much trying to give me what I want. It's like, hey, we made an Advance Wars game because the people who actually make Advance Wars aren't going to make one anymore. So we're going to fill that market, and we're just going to steal your money. And it doesn't actually have to be that good of a game. And I was a little apprehensive. I was worried. First up, I spent $25 on it, and I was like, I hope this is enough game to warrant $25, which is always the case when you buy a small indie game and you're not sure. But then I was less concerned because it took a while to download. So okay, there's enough content.
There's some beef to it.
There's some meat to it. And then I started it, and I felt the apprehension again because there was a shit ton of narration, a lot over a black screen.
Black screen?
Yeah, a lot, or still images, a few still images, and a lot of black screen with the text box. And the other thing is it's all in Japanese. All the characters speak in Japanese, but it has English
subtitles.
Not just text box, but I guess it fulfills the same thing as a
subtitle. Yeah,
and it kind of threw me off, and it went on, and I have to say, it's not the best written. I don't know if it's a translation thing, but it's a little awkward, and some of it.
It could be a translation thing.
Yeah, it's a little. Some of it doesn't make sense, and some of the dialogue doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't understand your motivation, but whatever. And so I'm like, okay, I just want. I want this game for the strategy stuff. Yeah. And then I was going through it, and it's the beginning of the game, and that little stuff like that between the missions were kind of starting to bug me a little bit because they were a little too long, and I'm just like, come on, move on.
Just let me play Advance Wars.
I found myself accidentally hitting. There's a next button to kind of press forward on the dialogue, which is a little janky, but then right next to it is you can move over and hit it, and it fast forward through all this stuff.
So you just start skipping it?
No, I did it by accident a couple of times, and I'm like, well, I hope I didn't miss anything. And I did it twice, and I don't think I missed anything. but the missions are all right. But it's at the beginning, so it felt a little too easy, and especially someone who like me who's played a ton of Advanced Wars and I know what I'm doing. And I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, let's get on. And then I was starting to kind of think, well, come on, if it needs to start picking up. Mm-hmm. Then we came back from dinner. And I was like, I'm going to play one more mission or two or something before we do the show. And I played one, and I spent the whole hour just playing one mission.
Really?
It was the one that drug out. It felt more like an Advanced Wars.
Yeah.
So you finally... Like War of Attrition trying to think. Like, there are waves coming, and I'm trying to just get up enough units and build up enough resource to push back until I can take over.
So you got some meat on it.
It's doing all right. It's starting off. It's getting going. But I also made a few tweaks in the settings. First off, I turned off the battle viewing thing. Basically, you move up a unit to another unit and you attack it. It goes boom. It goes down, and you see the little models fire. Yeah. One group of models fires over, and it shows the other model getting hit, and some of them die. And then it goes back, and then you see the retaliation, and it does that. But it's kind of the same animation over and over. Yeah. And I didn't really like it. And it just felt like it was slowing down the combat and everything. So I turned that off first, and so I was like, this is fine. Though it's a little, I wish it showed the animation when you turn that off and you just see that. I wish it had a little more animation on the surface, so when you don't have that, because sometimes it's like, they move up and my health just goes down. It doesn't give any like explosions or anything, unless it kills you. Yeah. So sometimes I'm like, oh, he attacked it. I didn't even notice it, but because it didn't do the thing.
You needed like in Civ, they have the fast motion. It doesn't show all the fighting, but it still shows like we fired. Yeah. You needed that fire.
I needed a little bit, but it had none of that because I guess they put it all in the view. And it just felt like it was just getting in the way of I didn't like this. The weird angle of the view of the battlefield is a little weird. It felt a little too wide. But it's also kind of hard to move around the field. I don't know, it's a little awkward.
Walked in, the first thing that struck me when I was watching you play was the angle you're looking down.
It's a little weird.
It's not like isometric.
It's not isometric. It's not straight on. It's like 10 degrees off.
It's like, it's like
a really strange angle.
Skewed one way, and it's weird.
It's a little strange. And then, so it took me to get used to it. And the reason I went to the big screen, because on my handheld, which is the way I wanted to play it, some of the text seemed kind of small. Some of the little health icons on the characters
you're getting
felt
old.
Really small, and I'm like, I can see it, but it's also kind of hard to make out. Sometimes there's lots of these little icons down there I can hardly make out. And so I put it on the big screen, and that helped a little bit, but still kind of a complaint. But I turned off the battle view thing. I got tired of seeing that because it felt like I was just like zoom in and zoom back out, zoom in and zoom back out constantly, and I'm like, I don't like this. And then I found a setting that lets me turn off the audio for the voiceover for all the dialogue.
It's just written.
And I thought it only worked on the dialogue between the fights and in the middle of the fight where the two characters are talking, which is a little awkward, I'm gonna say. But it goes like when I'm reading it, but I also have the Japanese talking in my head. It goes a little too fast for me to get through it and understand it. Because I have no problem watching subtitled movies and really, but when it feels like it's a little bit too quick, so I have something talking in a different language that I'm trying to process, even though I can't. You know that feeling?
No.
But it keeps coming. This information is coming in my ears, and I'm trying not to pay that much attention to it, except for tone, and then read, and it goes by too quick when I get my head muddled up, and I'm like, okay. And so I turned it off, and it goes off. It also turned off the narration, too, so I just have text box now. Yeah. And so after I closed the game out and came back in, it's nothing but text box now. And once I did that and I turned off battle view, it feels okay. Yeah. It feels better. And like I said, I had one big battle. I was like, okay, I've cut away some of this excess stuff that's just getting in the way of me having my Advanced War combat, and so
it sounds to me you're just trying to get that.
I'm trying to get
that Advanced War scratch. Yeah, without where it's somewhere that isn't Advanced War, even though it is kind of. Yeah, but they're trying to make it different.
It's a strange game. Yeah, and like I said, the writing's a little awkward, but I think it's mostly a translation thing. Yeah, and. Yeah, it's just a little strange. It's a little bit
from
strange.
The general way you're talking about it, it doesn't seem like you like it.
I do. I like the combat. I like the combat because it's Advance Wars.
Yeah.
It's that, and it's getting into the point where it's like, okay, we're getting into the real missions as opposed to
so we're gonna have to check back next week and see if you still play, or we won't ever talk about it again.
No, I'll give a report of some kind.
Okay,
but yeah, we'll talk. I'll talk. Give me another week. Give me the rest of the week to play it some more, and I will definitely report back.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a little awkward. I would, if you get into it, don't get discouraged. Just go and tweak some settings, and you can get rid of some of the stuff that kind of gets just in the way.
Okay.
And so yeah.
All right. What? Okay. The one thing I was going to talk about and kind of rub in your face a little bit. Rob, I was talking to Robert, our brother, Rob, has 100%.
I know.
Super Mario Odyssey.
He told me.
Succeeding where you gave up.
Because I asked him how he did it, and he said he just kept trying, and that's fine.
He didn't give up. That's what he did.
I did get some tips from him, so maybe I may go back and try it again.
No, it's too late. One May brother has already done it. So
that doesn't mean
the achievement is already been claimed, and you have been shamed.
I'm not shamed.
He even got all the coins.
Yeah, so
he got all the purple coins and
I've done all that.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I did all that
I don't know.
Forever ago.
It's okay. Don't get defensive.
I'm not getting defensive.
Calm down. Calm down.
You're
Calm down.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, congratulations, Rob, on 100%ing. But it won't be 100% for much longer because the DLC is going to come out and it's going to add more stuff.
And he will probably 100%
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is after the DLC comes back, I will come back to it a little more refreshed and having taken a break from it. And I will finish those 6 moons I need. And then
and give up before you finish them.
No, and then I'll try out the DLC stuff.
It's okay.
That's not it.
It's okay.
That's not it.
I didn't even try.
I know.
Didn't even try. I got the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, this is fun, and I stopped.
How long did it take you to beat Zelda?
It don't matter.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Don't feel shame, Dudley.
Whatever.
Don't feel shame.
I didn't say I felt shame.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't.
I can do it too. Yeah. So.
All right. We don't have a lot of time.
No, we don't.
So I'm gonna just hit the highlights.
I saw a thing for a new train game.
What? What?
Yeah, I saw a thing about the train railroad tycoon. I think it looked real good. I want it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't know if I want it so bad to pay $50-$60 for a game, but it looked real good.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got.
That's not really news,
Train
but
game.
okay.
It's news to me.
Okay. The broad stroke of my news today is things are shutting down.
Yes. Okay. What's shutting down?
Paragon.
So
Epic Games is shutting down Paragon.
Yeah.
Which is a free-to-play game, but there are pay things in it. Pay-to-play kind of thing. But it's being shut down because Fortnite apparently is wildly successful.
Yeah. And so they're like, well, we're not going to work on this anymore.
Pretty much. But they are offering refunds to everyone who did buy into Paragon.
Which we know one person who did.
We know one person.
Yeah.
And I talked to him about it.
Yeah.
And his thoughts were, I kind of stopped playing it because I didn't like the way it was going. So basically, he's just played a game that he enjoyed for a little while. And now he's getting his money back for it.
It was scary.
He's gonna.
By the way,
it's scary.
It's scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
And
in fact, there was a Penny Arcade comic a week or two
we don't have
ago
time for this.
that kind of poked fun at the whole Paragon thing, and I'm like, Gary, you played Paragon, right? Here's this comic for you.
Yeah. So they're shutting down April 26th is where it will be no more.
But
you get your money back.
No one cares because hardly anyone's playing it.
Oh, and anyone who did will get their money back, and they can put it into something else.
So you get a rare opportunity of saying, hey, we're sorry you paid for this. Here, have your money back.
Yeah, which is weird.
It's weird.
It's really bizarre. It's kind of unheard of.
You think they'll send the refund with a little thing that says, hey, check out Fortnite?
I was thinking when you get your refund, there will be an option for just put it in Fortnite. I was like, oh, here's an option. We could keep your money, and you could just funnel it into Fortnite.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think so. It'd be funny.
Well, maybe.
The other thing that's shutting down is Meetmo.
Yeah.
The first Nintendo mobile app.
It's only been out for like
a year
maybe.
It came out
I never really got it.
I downloaded it, but then didn't do anything with
I didn't really get the appeal of it.
I think I downloaded it. I don't think I kept it.
I don't think I ever actually downloaded it.
But it's being shut down.
Yeah, apparently it didn't go over that well.
In May. Well, because their other Nintendo apps are better, I guess. I don't play any.
I don't know. I got
anymore.
Mario Run's the only one I played.
Yeah, I refused to put money in it, so I didn't play it for very long.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go.
And then Pokemon Go, that was about it.
Yeah.
And Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they just got better at it.
Yeah.
So they were like, we don't need this one anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's other stuff, minor stuff, and I kind of want to talk about, but I'll save that for next week.
Just forget about it. We're never gonna.
I want to highlight some things, and we'll save it for next week.
Okay.
And by that I mean maybe not remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, not really.
Okay. We're probably gonna buy some
I just
Star Wars
said
Destiny cases.
I'm.
Oh, you're highlighting them on your notes.
For next week.
Okay, I gotcha.
You didn't understand what I was saying?
No, I thought you meant like I'm going to highlight them. I'm going to touch on them real quick. But
no.
Okay.
No,
I'm
not going to talk about them.
Okay.
I'm going to save them for next week.
All right, cool.
Because we rambled too much this week.
Well, let's. Everyone should go to our website at deafanddumb.com.
Yes.
That's DEAFNDUMB.com.
Mm-hmm.
And, keep listening to us. You're obviously doing it right now. Please keep doing it.
And go rate us on iTunes.
Yeah, rate us on iTunes
Stitcher,
or Stitcher or Google Play or the podcast
or wherever
app.
you listen to us at. We would like some ratings.
We would like to hear your response.
Feedbacks.
And follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Do us all that stuff. Dudley has an
Instagram.
Yeah, so you can follow him over there. I don't care. Well. I'm gonna go drool over some Star Wars Destiny cases and ponder my life choices. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Dan May,
and I'm Dudley May, and this has been Deaf and Dumb.